Breaking news, Hunter Biden guilty on all counts. All three charges, guilty, guilty, guilty. Now, is this justice? I'm Chris Cuomo. Welcome to the Chris Cuomo Project. We just released a video about Trump and Biden and what it says about our system that they were both put on trial for crimes that don't usually get prosecuted. That's the problem. Once again, did Hunter Biden do it? Yes. That's why he was found guilty. This is a no-brainer case. The ATF form, the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms form, which is what you have to fill out to get a pistol permit, has a very clear question about, hey, do you abuse drugs? He marked no. Now, there's a weak rationale that, well, he wasn't aware of his addiction. Okay, that's an argument you can make, but it obviously wasn't a strong one as they came back with a verdict very, very quickly. They never even asked to review anything. Why? Because he did it. He knew he was an addict. Most addicts do. They may be in denial about the impact on themselves and the people around them and what it means about their lives. And I don't know about you, but I've certainly lived it with people who I love and I care about and I've lost. So he did it. Get past it. All right. Hunter Biden did it. Should he have been prosecuted? No. It's not the intention of these types of prosecutions to catch a guy like Hunter Biden. Oh, because he's rich and white and his daddy's the president? No, because you're looking to grab people to layer the criminality of what they used the weapon for. That's what these cases are about. They bring them to help control who's getting firearms. Now, something I don't accept as well when it comes to pushing back against the idea that he was prosecuted is that this is hypocrisy because those on the right who want unfettered access to weapons are now saying it's okay that you keep weapons from somebody on the basis of what answers they give on a form. Okay, that's a little bit of a tortured argument. I don't believe that people who are pro-Second Amendment or don't want any restrictions on the Second Amendment mean that literally. I know there's a very small slice of fringe, like there's a very small slice of fringe that believes that COVID was designed by the United States government to kill all of us, and that the pandemic was fake, and all the other tinfoil hat stuff that keeps Alex Jones making all that money that he has to pay to the Sandy Hook families because he's a piece of shit. Here's the point. People who believe in the Second Amendment most often believe in reasonable regulation. We have plenty of it already. Could the system be better? Yes. So this situation with Hunter Biden isn't about gun rights, okay? That's a weak argument to make. The strong argument is these are not the kinds of cases they usually bring. And that's all that matters. That shifts this from being about justice to being about just us. Not justice, not fairness under law, just us, meaning this is good for our side of the game, for our team, our party. And that's the real headline today. This is about just us. Same as the Trump verdict, same as the Trump verdict. Okay? It's not justice. It's not fairness under law. Why? Because the 34 felony convictions that Trump got, those crimes, the policy behind them was not to catch a guy like Trump. Oh, why? Because he's a rich, powerful white man who was a former president who has lots of followers who are sometimes nasty? No. Because what's the policy behind the ability to prosecute the behavior? That's the analysis. So why do we want people not hiding things about themselves for a campaign? Where'd they get their money? What kind of stuff are they about? Who are they in bed with? Not literally, but like what organizations? Who's backing this man or woman? That's what you want to know. Not that he cheated on his wife and he had to pay the women to be quiet. That's not the policy behind it. Oh, but that would have been relevant to voters. That assumes that voters had no clue as to any questions they should have about Donald Trump's morality. I mean, come on. All right. They brought this case. I mean, the Trump situation is obvious. Alvin Bragg, the district attorney, who hasn't found felonies that he doesn't like making into misdemeanors, made misdemeanors here into felonies, and he told you why. Because I'm going to get Trump. That's what he ran on. It's horrible, it's obvious, and it's ugly. Hunter Biden, you have a special prosecutor that was picked by Trump to go after Biden. This would be batshit crazy land if you just switch the R and the D. You picked this guy to go after Trump and then he did it. This isn't justice. But you don't say it now. And that's our problem. That's the just us problem. That's what this Hunter Biden conviction indicates, that we are stuck in a battle that's about nothing more and nothing better than advantage. That's it. What's the sentence going to be? He's facing 25 years. The chance that he gets anything like that is, I believe, zero. It's up to the judge who did this. He's a first-time offender. There was no corollary to this crime, meaning he didn't then get the gun and then use it to kill people to feed his addiction or do any kind of crime with it. We don't even know if he ever really had possession of the weapon. I'm not saying he's not guilty. I'm saying he didn't get the gun to commit crimes. I think after like 2 weeks or something, someone else found it and threw it out in some dumpster or something like that. So the policy's just not served here. But the preference is, the political preference is. Now, some people are saying to you, oh, no, the Biden administration, no. The Biden administration kept the authorization for this special counsel. They always do. The guy was put in place by Trump, okay? This was a gotcha, and it worked. You got Hunter Biden. You didn't get Joe Biden. I know our friends over on Fox are saying, oh, it's not really about Hunter. It's about the Biden crime family. Yeah, that's like saying the Trump crime family. And you got better proof of that than you do of the Biden crime family. But more importantly, why does Sean Hannity or that, the little toxic dwarf that they have who does their comedy show or whoever it is on Fox, why do they want to get the justice? To see the system work the right way? No, it's just advantage. And they want to talk to you about these people being dirty because it's easier than making policy arguments to you. Why is Trump better? 90% of their answers is Biden's incompetent, Biden's losing his brain, the left eats babies. There's all this bullshit stuff. They don't want to make policy arguments to you anymore. And I got to tell you, it makes you long for the day of earlier Republicans. I mean, even the Bushes talked policy and talked about what mattered. And certainly the Democrats did back then, but now it's just all about the other side being worse. And that's all the Hunter Biden conviction is about. This guy is an inveterate addict, which a lot of you guys decided to make a judgment about his behavior, that everything he's accused of, he's therefore guilty of because he's an addict. Whoa! There but for the grace, my brother or sister. You better be careful about dismissing addicts as bad people who do bad things. Because I'm telling you, I guarantee you know someone and care about someone who's under the grip of this disease. It's a disease. Hell of a lot more of a disease than obesity, by the way. Okay? You're fat. And if you're fat and you become obese, it can lead to disease. But obesity isn't a disease. And except for very rare cases where people hormonally aren't activated the right way, they're not healthy, being fat's a choice. Disease isn't always a choice. Once it happens, it happens. My point is this. Addiction is real. People do things when they're addicted that they would never do if they weren't. And their behavior should not be judged the same way. And it's not an excuse, it's an explanation. So this Hunter Biden deserves it. He's a bad junkie who's a whoremonger. I don't like that. And I don't agree with that, and I don't accept it. Hunter Biden committed the crimes. He lied on the form because he wanted the weapon. And that's it. Now he's guilty. But is it justice? No. How? How is it not justice if he committed the crime? That's what justice is about. No, justice is about fairness under law. The laws are created to give us a standard for the behavior that we want to see. This is not what we're trying to police, is people like Hunter Biden filling out forms to get weapons. Now, you can say, yeah, it is. That's exactly why I want the form, is because I want to keep the wrong people from getting guns. Yeah, I don't really believe you. I don't believe that at all. I think most people who have a position on the gun argument, it's a once again zero sum. All guns, no guns. And that's why we're stuck. And that's why we can't improve the system. Although we're a lot better off when it comes to regulating weapons than we are a lot of other things. I know that's a weird thing to say because we have so many weapons in this society and we have so much gun crime, but we have more regulation than we do with other things that are plaguing us. Look, here's the point. See this for what it is. It's just like the Trump verdict. It's not justice, it's just us. It's just the Democrats getting their pound of flesh from Trump. I don't know what kind of sentence he's going to get. I'd have to believe it's going to be probation. It'd be crazy for the judge to do something else to a first-time offender who's running for president and may win. Hunter Biden's easier to sentence, obviously. He's not running. He's not of any consequence to the greater society. But Hunter Biden is also a first-time offender. And these are like victimless, like a victimless crime here that he had. And it's not justice. It's just us. It's a part of what is killing us, which is the game of battling party advantage. You see it every day, everywhere. It's all that matters. And everything is getting filtered through it. The vaccine, Taylor Swift, Caitlin Clark, every cultural occurrence gets filtered through what does this mean to the two-party battle? These parties are poisonous. They're killing us because they're forcing us to be into this constant state of division and constantly looking at the other side, desperate to find ways that they are worse. So now you look on the internet, yay, Hunter Biden. Wait a minute. I thought it was deep state. Wait a minute. I thought it was all controlled by Biden. The DOJ is controlled by Biden. So how could Hunter Biden have been convicted? Is the new conspiracy that Joe Biden secretly hates his son? You see what I'm saying? It's hypocrisy. Oh, the deep state. They control everything. That's what's going on. It's the alphabet soup that you don't know about, the spook game. It's all bullshit. It's all convenience. It's not justice. It's not fairness. It's just us. It's advantage. It's what we need to say. You riot during the George Floyd backlash. These people are savages. This is horrible. This is anarchy. These people hate society. They hate about everything. They're destroying their own communities. January 6th happens. Two things are in the response. One, well, this was really just a protest of people who wanted to tour and force the situation. And don't forget all those crazy blacks and their allies and what they were doing in the streets. It's not fairness. It's just us. It's just about advantage. Now, you can overplay it. January 6th, the insurrection, not an insurrection. Nobody was charged with insurrection, not anyone meaningful, not in any meaningful way. Why? Because that's not what it was. It was a riot. It was a disgusting riot. And the right wants to mitigate that. The right wants to talk about Ashley Babbitt getting killed on January 6th as if that's the victimization that matters. The woman was in a place trying to violently get to a police officer, trying to gain access to an area where the lawmakers were by force. And they make her the victim. It's just crazy. None of it makes sense. The people celebrating Hunter Biden getting convicted don't even understand what it matters except to themselves and their political ambitions. We can't be this way. It's not what our justice system is for. It's a perversion of our justice system. And then you have people on the left who now also perversely are saying, well, this proves nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. That's not the right analysis. Should anyone be above the law? No. But that's not what this is about. This is about weaponizing the law for political advantage. That's what it's about. And I'll tell you what, it's inconsistent with the main ethos when it comes to justice, right? What do we think? The adage is, may 100 guilty men go free, so no innocent man gets falsely convicted. That has always been such a profound and difficult idea to accept. Wait a minute, 100? 100 guilty guys go free just so one innocent man isn't falsely convicted? Man, I don't know, man. That sounds like the balance is off. Shouldn't it be like 1 for 1? No. Why? Because our system, if you want justice, you have to make sure that you do everything you can to be fair. And if there's any doubt, if there's any reason to let them go, let them go. They'll probably fuck up again and you'll get them the next time. But to jail someone who doesn't deserve it is the ultimate sin of sins when it comes to organized society and justice and fairness, at least in America. Now, is the reality that we have our jails filled with people, our prisons filled with people who maybe don't deserve to be there, who maybe didn't even do it? Yeah, because we're imperfect, because we're human, we're flawed. But we're supposed to be engaged in the effort to get better. And that's not what we see with Hunter Biden. It's not what we see with this Trump conviction. You can think Hunter Biden's a scumbag. That's your choice. That's your right, frankly. You can think the same about Donald Trump. But that doesn't mean that they should be convicted of things that don't matter in cases that would have never been brought except for who they are. That's not no one being above the law. That's this person being targeted by the law. That's what happened with Donald Trump, and now it happened again. Hunter Biden is absolutely guilty. The only way he was getting off is if the jury nullified, was what they call jury nullification, which is where they say, okay, he did it, but we don't like the case and we don't think he should be found guilty, so we're going to find him not guilty anyway. And there was a chance they could do that. There were enough people who had addicts. But you know what people overlooked? And I'll talk about this tonight on News Nation more. People who have addicts in their lives, you assume they'd be more forgiving of addicts. That's not always the case. When you've had your life really negatively affected by someone's addiction, the idea that you want to be so forgiving of everything they do is not necessarily reality. Very often, you want a consequence applied. You're hoping it shakes them up, scares them straight, gets them into a better place. Many of us, many families in this country have had to almost beg the system to prosecute their loved ones just to get them in a place where they have a better chance of being clean, and even though jail or prison is not drug-free. So maybe those people on the jury were like, you know what, maybe this guy needs a wake-up call because he definitely did this and I'm not letting him out of it. The bet was, will they see it and say, have mercy? Maybe they're not looking for mercy for him. Maybe they're looking for a chance for him to realize that he needs to change his life. Now, he'll say, I already did. But here we are. He's guilty on all counts. This is not a surprise, not to me, but it's not justice. It's just for us, just for the people who want to see the Bidens tarred, just for the people who want that sense of revenge. That's all it is. And that is not enough for us in America. That's not what our system is supposed to be about. You know it, and I know it. And if it feels good, that doesn't mean that it is good. It's no different than it was with the Trump case. And the fact that you see all the players now on opposite sides of the analysis tells you everything you need to know. These people don't give a shit about you and our common concerns. It's just their own advantage against the other side. That's the reality. That is the verdict. That is the spoken truth, which is that's all this is about, and it has to stop. I'm Chris Cuomo. Thank you for subscribing and following. Hey, I don't know why more of you don't subscribe. It's free. 3 out of 10 of you subscribe. You say, oh, I missed that one. I wanted to know. Oh, I finally saw. You'll get all of the announcements. And if you want it ad free, you just pay $5 a month. I mean, what else do you waste $5 a month on? Think about it. And this, the money is going to go to help people get long COVID treatment who can't afford it. So That's what the Substack is about. You can sign up there for $5 a month. You can sign up for free anywhere you get the podcast. You can subscribe to it, and it's free. If you want it ad-free, and you can get information about long COVID, and you can go to school on how I'm being treated for long COVID by a great doctor named Dr. Robin Rose and her entire medical staff. You can go to school on all that. And the money, if you come to us, you come to Robin and you say you need help and you can't afford it, and that checks out, we'll try to use the money to help you. So that's what we're about here. What are you about? Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you on News Nation tonight and every weekday night, 8 p. and 11 p. Eastern. Thank you so much. Oh, my shirt. I'm a free agent. Are you? I wear my independence. I'm not about left and right. I'm about reasonable. And I want people to know that. And if you do, you can see right on my page how you can get your own free agent merch. Wear your independence. Appreciate you. Until the next time, let's get after it.